Alright, so today I'm going to show you how to make a cover for your book. I started doing the horror of the Tazumari Greed statues cover a couple of weeks ago. Well, yeah, about a week and a half ago. October the 28th, which would have been right here. So, with the shutdown of Kindle Vella, I've got to make all new covers for my Kindle Vellas. And the first one is the horror of the Tazumari Greed statue. Now, I'm going to show you the original cover that I made, the first one. So here's the first book cover for this. I thought it might be Naughty Reads number 16, but I don't think so. I'm not going to make this monster story a naughty read. And the reason is quite simple. Let's clear this away because we're not going to use it, at least I'm not. So here's what I've been working on, and dashboard. And here's the other one. The Castle of the Massive Male Monster. Now I'm probably going to change that title, but as you can see, I've put about 1,500 words on another monster story. So now I've got two monster stories. And at this point, since it's not a one-off kind of thing, I need to go ahead and make another series, which means I need another set of series book covers. So that is what I'm going to fix today. So I've got two monster stories. So I need a monster series, obviously. So we're going to go back to this. And I've got the... This is going to be difficult because I have two screens, but you can only see one. So I've got the two book covers that I need. And the reason these are different is because one of these is for the audiobook. The audiobooks, they're still doing throwbacks to CDs, so the audiobook cover has to be square. And the regular book cover, the ebook and the paperback, has to be a rectangle. And obviously I need some allergy medicine, even though it's winter. Go figure. So we're going to have the Bodacious Beast Chronicles, and the first book is going to be the horror of the Tazumari Greed statue. So now I need to transfer all this center section over here. And here's where I ran into the problem. I'm going to show you how to fix this problem. But I need to transfer all of this over to my audiobook cover. Except as you can see, I've got a big problem here with my normal square grabber. It's grabbing part of the book. It's grabbing part of my name. And it's not quite wide enough over here. So the only thing that really isn't in the box is my Bodacious Beast. So this is a problem. I can't shrink this enough to make it not grab those things. At least not with this selector. So here's what you do. You go over here to this Paths tool, and I'm just going to tell you this is GIMP, G-I-M-P. It is a free program. I am not sponsored by GIMP. It's free. It's open source software is what it is. And it's pretty much just like Photoshop, except it's free. And you can download it on your computer and use it as you like. No more hassles. So most of my covers are templated. This is the first cover I've made in a long time, and I'm going to do the Paths tool to get this over here. So I'm going to select my Paths tool, and I'm going to start carving this out. I probably need to make it a little bit bigger. Then I'm going to selection from path. We'll go back down to 25%. So this is actually what the selection needed to look like. Now I'm going to Control C it to copy it, and then I'm going to go over here to my rectangle select tool, and I'm going to Control V to paste it. So here's my thing. And that, so I've got a bigger problem. Well, shoot. All right, let's go with layer, scale layer, width and height. Let's do 1500 and see what that does. That is going to work, but I got too much purple still. So we're going to open advanced options, transparency, and we're going to copy it here because we've got a big problem. This needs to go away. Because what I need to do is erase some of this. Size is 24. Let's see. See how big that is. Nope. We want like a massive brush. So I'm going to erase part of this purple. Hardness is not correct. I need the hardness at 100, otherwise this fuzzy stuff that you see will show up as a lighter purple on the cover when I transfer it. So we need to get rid of all this fuzzy stuff. That's going to be tough. So this is real close to this right here. So we need to very carefully go around it. And just take care of all this fuzzy stuff. Otherwise it's not going to be clean when I go to copy it back in. Okay, so that should be enough. Let me go back over to my selection tool, copy this out. How about not doing that? Copy this out. And now I'm going to see if I can reposition it so that it works. Okay, it's still too big, which makes sense because this is 2400 pixels wide or tall, and this is 27. So there's a 300 pixel difference between the height of this and the height of that. So let's scale the layer. I might actually not have to do it, not make it as small. Scale. I think there it is. Except I've got a gap. There are different brush forms that you can do. See what it's gonna do. Alright, so I am going to see what this brush is going to do. Well, merge visible layers. It's going to do green. Well, that's not what I want. See what this one does. Oh, I don't like that. this one? No. I'm looking for something to fill the gap with. But I'm going to have to dig a little deeper. Okay, so I need to fill this gap right here with something. I just spent about 20 minutes digging through Pexels for a royalty-free image and could not find one. So, since this particular book cover is already contaminated with an AI image and there's no possible way I can recreate that, because usually what I do, if I have an image somewhere where I can use an AI image, I use it. But I'm switching over to someplace where I really don't want an AI image. On Kindle ebooks and paperbacks and things like that. Because you have to say whether it's AI generated or not. If it's AI assisted, you don't have to say anything. But the problem is that I am not skilled enough to draw something like that. And I am not skilled enough to draw something like this. So, it's already contaminated, so I just made a new AI image. Wonderful. But now I need to get it off this white background. And the problem with AI is that I said put it on a white background, and it did. But this is a shaded white background, so this is going to be difficult to say the least. Colors. Color to alpha. It's going to be nasty. It's going to disappear half this image. I guarantee you that's exactly what's going to happen. So I've colored to alpha the white, but let's see what it looks like when I push it over to the image. So we're going to copy. And this is not the one I want. Paste. Well, at least it's the right size. Stop that. And we're going to see what it looks like. That looks really, really, really terrible. Looks really good there. Looks really terrible there. Okay, this looks terrible. You know what? Stop it. There is no square. Alright, so... But I don't just want to erase it down to white. What a pain in the butt. All right. Undo eraser. I don't want a color. So I don't want a color. When I erase this image, it's just giving me white. So it's erasing this top shadow. That's not what I want. So I'm going to make a new image, transparency, and I'm going to take this image and paste it over here. No, I do not want to save it. So, image, merge visible layers. Now when I use my eraser, it now erases to alpha, which is what I want. What I want to do is create enough of an alpha layer or border almost to be able to copy this out and it may not be perfect. So we're just going to create a layer of transparency right around this 400. These stupid little jewels are going to be a real problem. And this may still not work well because these little jewels are really obnoxious. to get the thing around it. Selection from path, copy, and we'll see what it does. I still hate it. All that work and I still hate it. All right. All right, so every once in a while you run into a problem where you've got something you need to fill and nothing's going to fill it. When I looked in pixels, it was just everybody did their own rendition of a gold Bitcoin. It's obviously not what I'm looking for. The AI staff did not match, and there was nothing I was going to be able to do about that. So the only other option is to do something like this. And I'm just going to put more text. Because that's the only thing I can think to do. I've got to fill the gap because it's uneven. So we're just going to do this. Merge visible layers, merge, go to my little selection tool, copy, paste, because it is not behaving. So filling this gap is not behaving, so we're going to do this. And if you're wondering if I know how many pixels to set it, no, I don't. I'm just guessing. So there we go. All right, that's what we're doing. Because I really just couldn't find anything else to fill that gap. And I'm not even entirely happy with that, but what else are you going to do? Alright, so when I went to save it, I clicked save instead of save as. So now my template is this. So we're going to try and back out of it. This is a whole bunch of Control Z's. There we go. Whoops. Well, I backed out one too far. We want to go here, and we want to fix this white thing again. All right, so there's my template, and I want to save it as the template. And then once I make these templates like this, I always use it for whatever I'm doing. And I'll just open the other one and show you what the final result was once again. So here's the Tazumari audio cover, and that's as good as it's getting. It ain't getting any better than that. And this is the template that I created earlier. It's just got a bunch of words on it. And I'm going to show you how to do this part of it here pretty shortly. And I don't need this anymore, so I am going to back out of it, but I do need it for a minute. I'm going to need this though. Alright, so I wanted to make sure I didn't screw up my template, so I saved my actual cover, and then the template is fine. And then every time I want to create a new cover in this book series, I will pull up the template. But let me show you how to make these templates. Alright, so I am going to show you how to make one of these templates, but I'm going to close mine. So this is 2400 by 2400. That is that's the dimensions for the audio book. I'm going to open another one, create new. And I'm going to go with inches because it needs to be 8, or it needs to be 6 by 9. Okay, that is a standard book cover for an ebook. And you want it to be 300 ppi. And I'll just pull open the... So X resolution 300, Y resolution 300. It says fill with background color. Well, we're going to fill it with a transparency. So there I have the two book covers, the audio and the regular book cover. So we're just going to work with the regular book cover. So pick your background color. I was using a real dark purple earlier. But you can really use just about anything. If you were doing an aquatic book, maybe you would choose a blue. We'll go with blue. Whoops. We'll go with blue. I tripped my little bucket thing. It's going to fill this whole thing blue. All right, so there's my basic background for this book cover. And I could do the same, whoops. I went too far. And I could do the same thing for the audio book cover. So you're going to go to your letters. And up here somewhere, you're going to put your book title. And if you want to be really precise about it, you're going to use something like this. Well, you're going to use something like this. You're going to go new. I really wish it'd stop doing that. You're going to go new. transparency, and you're going to make a transparency window to do your text. So we'll say that this is going to be called the Epic Ocean Adventure. So we're going to go A, and we're going to call it the Epic Ocean Adventure. And you can see, since I pulled up this book cover or text thing, transparency text thing, to be the same width as the other thing, other book cover, the actual book cover, we know exactly how these words are going to fit onto that blue background. So we want to do this. And it's already centered for us. Then you can go into filters and go to the drop shadow. And I've got a bunch of these preset, but we'll say we want the color of the shadowing to be some kind of blue, some different color of blue. Maybe we want it a little brighter, or maybe we want it a lot brighter. Maybe we want it a little darker. All right, what kind of blue do we want? This is kind of where you get into like the Bob Ross scenario. Do whatever feels right. So we'll use that one. And I'm looking at it. It gives me a preview right here of what that's going to look like, but I don't like it. So we're going to scroll this down. We're going to scroll this up. And we're going to make it a lot darker. And we're going to say OK. Then we're going to merge the visible layers. We're going to go over to our selector. We're going to select this and copy it and paste it and see what it looks like. And every once in a while, it's going to grab one of those little wiggly lines and screw you up. But we're going to say the Epic Ocean Adventure, and you want to get it as centered as you can. The Epic Ocean Adventure. So that looks good. And then we're going to come down here and put our name. So mine is and you can use a different shadow, but I'm going to go ahead and do the same one. Or maybe I'm not. What the heck? Well, that is weird. All right. Let's do this. Go back to filters. Light and shadow, drop shadow. Use the last one. No. Okay. What does it think it's doing? Sometimes GIMP will act really awful. So we're going to see what's going on here. Maybe merge visible. No, that box doesn't go away. Maybe that. Okay. So we'll try again. And if you want it bigger, all I got to do is come up here and go, I would like my name to be bigger. Now we're going to go back to the filters, light and shadow. Go back to the same one I used. Okay. What is going on? This is being really weird. All right, well, maybe that'll work. Sometimes GIMP will act really terrible. And you just kind of have to fight it for a minute. So we'll merge visible layers. And then we'll go, stop that! And it won't like get off the thing you selected. Even though you're done with it, it won't automatically unselect the thing. So we'll do this. And you want this kind of high, because if you're gonna, it's just a thing with the way Amazon works. They sort of cut off the bottom and the top of your image, and then if your words are in there, it won't let you use your cover. I want that even bigger. So scale layer, I'll try 950. So you got to keep your words away from your edge, or Amazon throws a fit. You want to get your last name. And we'll do 950. Still not happy with it, so I'm going to make it even bigger. When you create an image with inches, you'll have to select your pixels manually, which kind of sucks. Let's do 1050. That's better. I bet I can go up to 1100. All right, so that is good. So if you were going to do like the Epic Ocean Adventure series, let's say you were going to do something like that, this makes sure that all your covers are the same. And you're going to sit and go, well, what if I wanted fishies or something under the title? Maybe you want something up here. Well, you can still do that. Let's say you want some kind of something up here under these words, but you still want it to be a template. So you have to go find your picture. And I will go do that right now. So I went to pexels.com, Pexel.com, and typed in fish and got a fishies image. Okay, so fish, we have fish. So let's say you want some kind of something at the top and bottom of this picture. And that's fine. So we're going to take this and cut it out, and we're going to find this thing, and we're going to paste it here for use later. And I'm going to do the same thing with the name. Since it's already ready to go, I'm just going to take it and cut it out and put it over here. So there. Now I'm going to go get a picture from this. So let's say you like this placement. So we're going to copy some of this out of here and we're going to paste it here. So we're going to put this right here. And we'll say we like the top, so we're going to take some of this and copy it out and paste it and put it up here. That looks a little long, so we want to kind of come up here some more. All right, I think that's good. Now, if you notice, the blue that I picked and the blue of these pictures is not the same thing. And then, since this is going to be difficult, like you won't be able to copy this into this and it be the same thing. So what we need to do is take this you know what's going to happen here? Well, this is a good example because you're going to have a problem with your audiobook cover, because an audiobook cover cannot have borders. So if I were to do the same thing on this audiobook cover that I just did on this ebook cover, it's not going to pass. So this is actually a good thing that it came up. But first thing we're going to do is take this eyedropper and change the color. And I still don't like it, so I really wish it would stop doing that. Okay, there we go. So this is kind of going to be the background color. And it's a good thing I saved the regular text and the blue text, because now we don't need this blue text. So I am going to back out of it because I don't need it. And we're going to take this and copy it again. And put it up here, right? And we're going to take the name and do the same thing we just did. Sometimes it'll grab weird things and not do right. So there's your template. And then the only thing you have to change for your book series is either this color or the image in the middle, right? The color of this and maybe the image in the middle. That way your upper and lowers are always the same, so people can look at it and go, oh, that's part of the Epic Ocean Adventure series. And for something like this, to be quite honest, I would probably take my image that I used on the top and the bottom, at least for the first book, copy it, paste it, and see what it does. There you go. And then I would save this stuff and copy this and go and just do this kind of thing. And there's your audiobook cover for that kind of thing. Although I'd probably want to make the name and the shading stand out a little bit more. But for something like this, I would really just blow up my center picture and make that the audiobook cover without the titles. So in this scenario, this would be your template for your regular book cover, and then this would end up being your audiobook cover. And then for each additional book, you would just change this center color and possibly the center image. And then you would use this center image for the next audiobook's audiobook cover. And you would just put this stuff. So in this scenario, you would save your text so that it's always the same. And then change your picture on the audiobook and in the center. That way you've got your book series. And then if you were going to hire someone to do you an image, you don't need to hire them to do your whole book cover, because you've already got 50% of your book cover. All you would need to do from this point, if you were going to hire someone, is just hire them to do your center image. Because if you look at my little bitey books, I've done this kind of same scenario here in those books, and all I do is change the center image. So we can see in the Tiny Vampire from Outer Space that all of this is already done. The only thing I change is what's in this loop, what's in the circle. So, that's all I ever change. The rest of this is all the same. The background, the wording, this wording gets changed, this little guy gets changed, and the picture gets changed. That's it. And it makes doing your covers a lot faster and a lot simpler. So that's it. That's how you design your covers to last a long time and to make it really, really fast for you to get each cover out after you do the initial cover. All right. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you later.